Hello and welcome to Retro Cars Reborn. I'm Lee, of course, that's me. This is a Capri and we've got to get some work done on it. Straight away, first thing that I need to do on the Capri today is relocate the rear axle, because I don't know why, the last time I used the car on the road it was getting a vibration in 5th gear, so you get it into 5th gear and you could feel the vibration through the back wheels. Now it's because I didn't locate the actual diff correctly, and I couldn't figure out why for ages and ages and ages. I even had it up on a 2-post lift to try and relocate the axle, and I couldn't. It wouldn't have none of it. It wouldn't have none of it. So I stupidly remembered not long ago why this was. I forgot to undo the shaft. So the prop shaft, it's a 2-piece. It's got a main bearing. I forgot to undo the main bearing, thus not letting the actual axle slide forwards. So that's what we've got to do today, and I'm going to lower it a little bit more as well. So we'll get that done as well. It is ridiculously tight under here. I'm hoping that you can see. I never cut these U-bolts down because I always planned on lowering it more than it already was. So I'm hoping that the grease that I put on is still going to let it come free. Oh yeah, it seems to have worked perfectly. Didn't seem to put up much of a fight, so I'm going to whiz them 4 out and then I'll be back with you. So So this here is basically how a Capri is lowered. So the U-bolts have now been extended to as much as they can go, and that little aluminium block inside there is basically what it does. It just hires the axle up away from the leaf springs, thus lowering, so basically it puts the tyre closer to the body of the car, therefore lowering it. So what I'll do is I'll whip that aluminium block out and I'll compare it to the one that's going to go in its place. So that's the before one. As you can see, it's gone pretty much how aluminium goes when it's left bare and exposed, and this is its replacement. So yeah, pretty sure that's 1 inch, and I'm pretty sure they're a 2-inch drop. So let's get it slotted in. It was 100% more of a pain to get those in there than it ever was before. Because even though I'd already greased the U-bolts, they did not want to come out. So I spent 3 nights just undoing the U-bolts so they wouldn't snap. I've got some more, but it's not the point, is it? But there are, and as you can see, look, the diff is now nice and flat and not pointing down anymore. So the diff is now in the position it should be. So hopefully that's my vibration gone. The back end will be a bit lower. I'm hoping it's now not too low that it'll rub on the arches, but we shall see. So I'll get it dropped on the ground and we'll see what it looks like. I don't think that you're ready to see how sick the Capri turned out when it's been lowered. Oh, you see that you can't even see the roof, it's that low now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh my god, look at that! You lower your Capri and this is what you get in return. God damn, it's sick. Well, let me just say, the Capri actually failed. It just failed its MOT. Emissions. It failed on the horn not working, even though it worked the night before. And it also failed on the most dumbest thing I could have possibly done. And I forgot to put the front number plate on. So I drove all the way there, no number plate on, doing sick burnouts and drifting it every corner you could get it on. And yeah, I didn't put a front number plate on. So yeah, it's in the other garage at the minute. So yeah, we'll go and check it out. See if we can get it done. Yeah, boy. So she's past her MOT now. It's not running too bad, but we're still going to put it away for now because I plan on doing something with the carb still. Right then, so I'm in the doom and gloom of the other garage, and right, and so it failed on its emissions. Now I just tuned the carb again and it was perfectly fine, but driving it is a completely different experience to driving it with the original. Now there's quite a few reasons for this. For starters, there was loads of different things between the original carb and the old one. For starters, if I turn it round so they're both facing in the same direction, so this is one, and then the Chinese replica. On the Chinese replica, your fuel in is going here and your fuel out is coming here. Accelerator pump number 1. Oh right, accelerator pump number 2. They never fitted one. This is accelerator pump number 2 on the original. Now, the only reason I can think they did that is because of the way that they set the carb up to work. Now, there's tons of power comes out of the Chinese one. It is power like it's never had before. It's ridiculous, but it's there all the time. That's the only problem. Whereas in the original video, which I will link in this top corner somewhere, when I put these two carbs next to each other, as it works to open, I can stand on its side. When you ask for power, see that they don't open at the same rate. You get all the power out of one before it hits the other, which is why you have, there you go, opens one, and then when it reaches the other, it opens the other. But this one, the Chinese one, it opens it all the time. They're geared on the back. If I can get around there, I shall show it you. Sorry about the fingers in the way. There you go. Look. The Chinese one has a gear on the back. So literally, as you press the accelerator, it opens both flaps at once. Yeah, opens both butterfly valves at once, whereas the original, look, it like varies it between the two, and I think that's the issue with the driving on this. 30 mile an hour, it just hates it. Just doesn't want to drive at 30 mile an hour. 40 mile an hour, it drives absolutely perfect. But the accelerator's stabby. Instead of getting a smooth down action, it's more like you're doing that on the pedal. So I think my plan is I'm going to whip all these little mechanisms off so that it continues to open one at a different rate to the other. But I'm thinking it'll hate it on the Chinese carb because it doesn't have their second accelerator pump. But I'll swap them over, and then hopefully we'll take it for a drive and we'll see what happens. Well, I was looking at swapping the carb over in those little bits to try and make it a bit more of a smooth engagement from the accelerator, but that Chinese carb is missing so many different little bits that the Weber carb had originally that it's impossible to swap those two little mechanisms over in the first place. So I'm just going to have to leave it for now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to refurb the Weber carb again to try and get it right, and then I'll just have to completely swap it over and hope for the best, because that Weber carb for some reason never ran properly whatsoever, and this Chinese carb runs okay on idle. It starts every single time, whereas the Weber one, it never starts first turn of the key ever, whereas the Chinese one works perfectly every single time. But drivability of the Chinese one is ridiculous. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. I shall see you in the next video. Hopefully we'll be out and about in it by then. And yeah, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.